going on? How's everybody doing? Well, hello. Welcome to another Sleuth Intuition Live. Well, it looks like, let me just read my notes here. Defense began its campaign of doubt. Prosecutor responds with letter. Have you guys had a chance to see the letter by the prosecution office? Good to see everybody. NY Rory, True Crime with Shannon, Jill Moser, Kristen Behind the Crime Door. Make sure you go check out her channel. Highly recommended by yours truly. Is there some discussion about the My case and the bail? Yeah, that's very confusing because you had Prosecutor McLeland say no bail. I think a couple others said that too at the press conference. Jules, what's up? Always good to see you, Jill. Hello, Toon. Hey, Teresa. How you doing? CJK, Lisa. Hey, Shannon. All right, why don't we start with this? I think I'm going to try to make this a quick little presentation, and then I want to just kind of throw some random things at you guys and get your opinion on it. Gina, right? What about Andy Dufresne? Andy Dufresne really was innocent, but that's a one-off. What's up, bud? Hey, what's going on, Derek? Good to see you. Silent. Hey, what's up, Tech Death? Good to see you, Vanessa. All right. So let me load up this quick media clip here. And I labeled this one, defense attorneys say Richard Allen is quote unquote wrong guy. So this is the beginning of their campaign of doubt, and then after that, we will look at the prosecutor's office, how they responded with the letter that they put out. I believe it was this morning, actually. All right. So the defense attorneys, they haven't seen any of the evidence yet. So anything that was found after they served that search warrant, um, they'll begin to, they'll begin to learn about all that. But as of right now, they haven't seen any of it because the prosecutor, they don't have to release it yet. They'll agree upon a time to do that. I think that'll happen in one of these hearings, actually, if I'm not mistaken. And I could be. So all they've seen was a probable cause affidavit. So if somebody else is involved, it's very easy. This could have very easily have happened. They go and they serve the search warrant. They find all this evidence, and the evidence says, "Hey, look, we have another person." Maybe there was photos, video. You can clearly see another person there. I mean, we don't know. The defense attorney doesn't even know. So you can't judge them too harshly. The guy looked me in my eye and he's in, well, he hasn't seen anything. There's no reason for him to know anything about the case. I mean, eventually he's going to be, up to his neck in it. Don't worry about that. He's got plenty of time for that. Yep. And it's his job to create doubt. He's on a campaign of doubt. He needs to create doubt into the public. And I'm sure him and his other attorney said, why don't you do the talking today? And he's like, okay, this is what, these are the things that we should say. His other attorney dips out, like, I'm out of here. And then boom, he was ready for the cameras. He had the questions ready. He didn't seem pressured. This was part of their campaign. They need to build their case in the public eye. So that's what they did. They threw the first punch. Well, I guess the arrest technically was the first punch. This was their response. And this is the answer to that response by the prosecutor. Let's take a look at the letter they published today. And it looks like McLeland doesn't want to leave any, anything to the imagination. He's his confidence is high. I feel that, and that's why I created this thumbnail. It's from The Godfather. He's like, really, I don't care what any of you say. Like, we got this son of a bitch, and we're gonna go get the other ones who were involved. Confidence very high, in my opinion. But of course, my opinion came after reading the letter, and I'm assuming that was its intended effect. So let's take a look. Nicholas C. McLeland, Carroll County Prosecutor. We all are very familiar with this name. Shane Evans, Chief Deputy Prosecutor. Mayor Evans. This is dated this morning, November 23rd, 2022. Press release concerning the Richard Allen case. The Carroll County Prosecutor's Office appreciates the judge hearing our arguments yesterday morning and looks forward to her ruling. As I stated in court yesterday, we strongly believe the evidence shows Richard Allen was involved in the murder of Libby and Abby. Because the investigation is ongoing and given the intense public interest in the case, we think it would be best if the documents remain sealed. Regardless of the ruling, we believe we have a very solid case against Mr. Allen. and look forward to making our argument in trial. And it is signed by Nicholas McLeland, sorry. By Matthew McConaughey. Little joke. So there's their response. And I think it was a very powerful one. Like, look, guys, stop tripping, you know? We got the son of a bitch. And then we're going to get these other people too. So take it easy. Let us do our thing in court. And, you know, maybe they can even squeeze him. I mean, he looked miserable walking into that courtroom. All right, let's go hang out in the chat for a moment. Ooh, Tom with the super chat. Thank you, sir. Spin doctors about to make shit happen. I like the spin doctors. Get that damn song in my head now. Hey, Glitter. Teresita, Sweet Jules, Beach Fairy. What's up? Bees, hello. Bossy, good to see you as always. Truth Seeker, hello. How are you? Charlatan vibes in my estimation. Don't judge too harshly. Well, you're basically admitting that you really don't know his resume, but you're going to judge him anyway. What does that say about you? Hey, Kimmy. Olivia. Lisa. What's up, Ruckus? Chelsea. Let's see what Ivan's saying here. I think they know who else is involved, but can't prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. Arresting Richard Allen to see reactions of other parties involved. Yeah, we've wondered if they were doing manipulation tactics. You know, maybe from guidance from the FBI or something along those lines. But we really haven't seen any proof that happened and even happened in other cases. But I think CD may have mentioned something that similar tactics are used. So I guess it wouldn't be out of the question. That could be true, Rose. Unless he had some kind of way to back up what he was saying, you know. If it wasn't just his word, he was like, look, here, I can show you this, you know. Like, wait, there's more. Right, Kristen? They like think it's gonna be like this whole case file, the crime scene and everything. You guys gotta it's just what led them how did they sell you know, getting a search warrant? How'd they sell that to the judge? The judge looks at the probable cause affidavit and goes, well, I don't know about that. I don't know about this, but right there's a probable cause. All right. You know, it's a go. And then everything from there on out, we won't see until court. Cletus didn't make the request for the gag order. I don't know who did. Let me look. I have that right here. It's a good question. You called him Cletus? That's funny. Cletus? You must be from California. Motion filed. Yeah, it says filed by the state of Indiana. So yeah, that might have been his office. Not sure who did that. There's no name there. Yeah, how do we find out who did that? Hey, thank you, Tom. Spin Doctor's about to make. Oh, that's the other one. Oh, I just got that shit out of my head, man. 90s and 80s and 90s music will always get stuck in my head. I hate it. Do we have a new member? That's interesting. Let's see. Who do we have? Robert Hayden. Thank you, Robert. Welcome. That would be pretty cool. I mean, my beard is looking pretty good, so. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's got some extensive uh, resume history with, you know. I mean, do you just become the prosecutor? Thanks, Teresa. Well, I have a feeling once the defense attorney sees the actual evidence, he's going to be like, "Look, if you want my honest opinion, Ricky, like you need to give up some names. We need to wheel and deal. You know, you probably got maybe 20 years left if you're lucky. You know, in prison, no. You know, just on the diet alone, you know, that shit'll kill you. The lack of vitamin D, yeah, you're doomed. You got to make a deal. If he didn't, if he wasn't hands on, I mean, you're looking at maybe life in prison. Because I just don't know if they're going to try to get the death penalty. And if he's like help make this happen, I don't know I don't know if they're going to make a deal with him. You know, two victims, two perpetrators. Maybe it's like a 50-50 split with the responsibility. Hey, Cold Truth in the house. Oh, yes, confirming McLeland was a defense lawyer becoming Carroll County prosecutor. Thank you so much, Cold Truth. All right, let's see what else we got here. All right, now we're just going to kind of look at some random stuff. I think I found this on CJK or Curly JK's page. He caught these two very suspicious looking hooligans. Look at these. Very suspicious. If any of you can identify these highly suspicious individuals, one seems to be recording, the other seems to be hacking into the courthouse security system. Pretty sure they're casing the joint. Shout out to Rick Snay, Delphi After Dark, True Crime with Marvin Frank, and the Frank Meister. You guys rock, man. It's a good photo. You guys look good. Frank, that better be you trying to give me a call. Which you did. Thank you. Oh, yep. Your hat's dented. I don't know. Is that a blue jacket? Well, don't be disagreeing, Teresa. How dare you? All right, let's see what else I threw in the basket. In the random basket. Let's go to this one.
Deal with those.
Oh, wait, I can probably load this one up. Hold on. Hey, what's up, Lakeside? Good to see you. Shannon's like, he ain't no hacker. Wow, I actually caught up on the chat.
Friday evening, state police hurry into the cemetery, returning to the crime scene. Undercover officers did some work and left about 20 minutes later. The same time, troopers checking out a car left at the High Bridge trailhead. Turned out to be a woman and kids out walking. Shows the high pace of police activity that'll go through the weekend, they say. Near sunset, up on High Bridge Trail,
I thought it was important to do.
Chastity Gerald knew both Libby German and Abby Williams, the girls murdered not far from here. Libby was a good friend.
She loved to swim. And she's like always nice and happy.
Still hard to believe that it's happened, she says. Chastity was not on the trail Monday, but her friends were, and they told about a man they saw.
Yeah, they said that they had said hi and he just like brushed them off and kept going.
Did they think he was strange, out of place?
Handful of witnesses right there.
They said he was, but then again, it could just be a rumor.
They
Or maybe the man in black was the accomplice.
described him dressed in black. Meanwhile, police continue the search for this man. He would have been on the trail the same time as the girls.
So you got
they say
Richard
they want to
Anthony
talk to
on
him
the
about what
bridge.
he saw. And last night's search of a Delphi house will not lead to an arrest in this case, police say.
You can still feel the tension with it. Before it was peace.
I wonder if that puts all the people who were part of the other searches back in play. The whole bicycle bridge and all that kind of stuff. Hello, Leah. Welcome. Yeah. So I mean, we don't know why they were there. They could have been there with a group of people, and they just broke off from the group. What if this group, okay, let's say Richard Allen and the other person involved or other people involved are just kind of hanging around, and they have maybe their kids or friends of theirs or familiar people to them, and they're all just kind of near each other, you know what I mean? Kind of mingling, and they catch they just catch an eye on these two kind of stray away, kind of head off to the bridge away from everybody. Who knows? Could be somebody just like Richard Allen, somebody that everybody knows. So it's almost like we're right back to where we were in the beginning. The town's terrified again. Like, what do you mean there was another killer and you're barely telling us now? Like, what if this guy freaks out and goes out and feels pressured, to commit as many murders as he can? Unless they know who it is. Yeah, he seems very confident. Look, he's just chilling in his chair. He's like, yeah, we're good. Just give me a call the day before court. I'll be there. Better make it 2 days. Just Me says, I'm almost starting to question if Richard Allen is guilty of anything due to the secrecy and lack of transparency. Listening to his attorneys worries me that law enforcement doesn't have anything concrete. But you got to remember, you probably when his defense attorneys made that comment at that point in time, I guarantee you yourself knew 200 times more information than his defense attorneys did. They literally had no clue. And not to mention all the information that they may have now that's solid, which would be something that was found when they served the search warrant. So, I mean, that information is new to everybody. So when the defense team finally gets to see it, the prosecution, they've only had it since what? October, when they served that warrant. So, I mean, this stuff's new to everybody. But if the evidence is as good as McLeland is making it seem, we should be seeing a deal pretty soon. And his defense attorney said the same thing. They're like, yeah, well, once we see the evidence, we might be singing a different tune. But right now, he looked me in the eyes and yada, yada. Of course he's going to believe him. You look somebody in the eyes, only a cold-blooded son of a gun can do that and just lie right through their teeth. Kristen behind the crime door says his attorneys have spent little to no time with their client. They have admitted they know very little about this case. Yeah, they're being 100% honest. Charlotte says, confident of what? What exactly is he being charged with? What crime did he do that resulted in the girls being murdered? Maybe he held somebody down. Maybe he tied somebody up. Maybe he assaulted somebody during the course of a murder. Maybe he chased one of the victims and brought her back or held her down. Maybe it was his idea. Somebody was doing it because he told them to, and he was there watching and helping to move and stage. All I know is they say other people were involved. That means that sounds like there could be a murderer on the loose in Delphi. Man, I hope nobody's going to skip town. That'd be horrible. Waiting for somebody to jump, maybe. They're feeling froggy. A dog walking female witness, yet we have different witness accounts via sketches. Hopefully, the witness we know they have will recognize him. Yeah, and I wonder if they put him in a lineup. What if once they arrested him or had him as a suspect, I wonder if they grabbed the witnesses and they put his face in some kind of random order with some other pictures and said, "Hey, can you find the guy that you seen? Can you see the guy that you seen on the trail?" And they like circled fucking number 666 or whatever. And all three witnesses, maybe they all circled the same one. Maybe they put him in a lineup. Yeah, I caught myself on that one, cold truth. It almost came out. Frank, you want to call in, buddy? Here, let me give you that link and we'll close with the call. I went to who's Janice Allen? Is that Richard Allen's sister or his mother? I think it's his sister, right? Well, I was just kind of snooping around and I stopped by her Facebook and I was just curious. I was like, I'm going to take a look at these comments because she had removed her image. So I thought she would have blocked it. And the comments that are on her page are crazy, guys. It is insane. You got people that are attacking her. You got people who are defending her. It's just, man, it is a dumpster fire. So instead of that, let me try to get Frank Meister on here. Yeah, we'll stay away from that. I was getting a lot of negative energy from it anyway, but I thought it was interesting because it was just kind of like human behavior, like at its finest. Just unbelievable stuff. Let me get another one out too. All right. So Derek Farmer and Frank Meister, I sent you guys some links, and I know I wanted to talk with you, Derek, and maybe we'll just end the live stream with the little conversation, maybe some Q&A from the chat if anybody wants to talk with myself or the Frank Meister, or if we can get Derek. I don't know how busy he is today. You guys take holidays or no? Happy Thanksgiving, by the way, everybody. Yeah, I agree, Gina. 100%. Well, while we're waiting for Frank, let's put up some of these other videos. This is a request of a subscriber. This is an image that I played a few times because I was very curious who the gentleman was. But some people suspect it is Richard Allen. I myself do not.
Earlier this morning, asking him
Let's
if
get
it
your
was
opinion.
common for his granddaughter to do something like this. Listen to what he said.
Let's run that back to about right when he turns around. Well, I guess you guys can watch him walk again, huh?
It was common for his granddaughter.
So here's kind of a side view. And this is very early. So the girls haven't been found and the sun hasn't even come up. This is on February 14th. Yeah, Eminem. Eminem says if the defense is making us all doubt what we think, they're doing a good job, I guess. And that's okay. I mean, there should be doubt, you know, but the prosecutor's not worried about it because when they get in that courtroom and they show that evidence, it's going to speak for itself.
I mean, there should be doubt.
Hey, what's up, Frank?
What is up, man?
What's going on, buddy?
Shit. Listening to y'all.
Just hanging out.
Yep. Everybody needs to just have some patience with this case, man. Got to have patience. And like Kristen said, the defense has not spent no time with their client. They haven't even seen discovery yet, and that's going to be at least 6 months to a year before they even get that, I would imagine, because of all the process they got to go through, all the hearings and everything. And usually the discovery is released sometime during pretrial hearings. So, but I'm confident that he is BG. Just like I said yesterday when I spoke to Becky about it about a week ago, I felt confident that she was confident it was BG's just by her Facebook profile picture that she has up. So when I saw that, that basically told me she's probably seen something in the probable cause that convinced her that he is BG.
Well, I'm not sure that she was able to get access to that, but I'm sure they told her a few details, you know, that was within
Right.
the probable cause. She deserves at least that.
Exactly. And I'm starting to feel like that there's a name in there that they don't want the public seeing or anything. So
Yes.
What's up, Derek?
I'm starting to feel that right now, like there is somebody in that probable cause they don't want nobody knowing about.
Well, there was mention.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Derek.
I was just going to say, I mean, I think we all thought that from the beginning, and then we kind of convinced ourselves, well, is this a lone wolf attack? Because we didn't want to sound like, you know, a bunch of conspiracy theory nuts. But at the end of the day, somebody was right and somebody was wrong. And we were right. There's more than one person involved. That's the goddamn bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's talking about
that was huge to me.
Well, I'm pretty sure that the judge is going to unseal the probable cause. And the reason why I say that is because Nick McLeland, he already had an unredacted version of it there in court and presented it to the judge, basically telling her, well, I've already got a redacted version of it in case you decide to unseal it. So here's my copy. And he gave the defense a copy of it too. So
He should have been like, hey, can I see that?
Right.
Can I get a look? Can I get a copy?
It's 9 pages long.
What?
Yes, it's 9 pages long.
Dang, that's longer than Ron Logan's.
Yeah. So.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Dang,
but
what the hell could be in there?
All the witnesses' names, possibly why they did a search on his house. You know, who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. But I can tell you that
here,
we're not going to get any information off that probable cause if it's heavily redacted. I can tell you that right now.
I'm still curious if there's going to be some type of Klein connection in there.
I am still leaning toward that angle myself. I still believe that Klein could still be involved in this.
In one way, huh?
Yeah,
Gotta be.
exactly. If it's the Dropbox or what it could be, but I just don't think he was actually there. But I think it was money involved in it too. So
Yeah, it seems like he began his relationship, or even his campaign, his catfish campaign against Libby, like around early February.
yeah,
I know they had contact through Instagram and things like that prior when he started the whole Anthony Shots thing mid 2016, but he didn't really start reaching out to her, communicating or taking interest until that day. So it makes me wonder, did somebody use Kagan Klein, and his skills of catfishing, so to speak? Because to a sick son of a bitch who can't, who's kind of out of his mind at the time, can't, he might be trying to cheat on his wife or something. He can't find a girl. He's over here watching this fat son of a bitch get all these strange images. He's like, how are you doing that? He's like, oh, well, I'm catfishing, He's like,
right.
oh, well, can you catfish somebody for me?
And everybody's always wondered if they got any type of electronics out of his house during that search warrant. Well, all we hear about is a bundle of clothes, a Macy's bag, and a box, possibly, whatever. But no electronics were ever mentioned. But you also got to remember he had cell phones too. So,
well, it bothers me because who had Libby reset her phone?
it was either Tara or Kelsey, from my understanding.
And who has the connections to like the wife of Richard Allen?
I don't know of anybody, because
why do I keep hearing this weird rumor about that? Like maybe it was just an image, like some random photo or something.
It was a random photo, and we did a short, or Marv did a video about it. I got in contact with Becky as soon as it was sent to me, and I
like
said,
something at the bar or something.
Yes, and Becky broke it all down to me. She said, my sister used to work at JC's bar, and bartenders have to be cordial to their patrons and their customers to make their money.
Wait, hold on, Frank. Are you saying that the waitress and those girls really don't think that I'm good looking?
Where in the hell did that come from?
Were they lying to me? So I gave them all my money, and you're telling me that's why they were being nice to me?
Well, that's what they do, man. I used to be a bartender. You got to do what you got to do to make that money, man. But like I was saying, Becky broke it down and said my sister worked as a bartender at JC's, and Alan and his wife were just pool players in there. She didn't know them on a personal level. She just knew them by their first names, didn't know anything about the family dynamics or anything. And she said that her sister was pretty upset that picture went around that quick, and people were starting to speculate that there was a connection between the Patties and the Allens. So
all kinds of stories started spawning from that shit.
So I told Becky, I said, we'll be on it. We'll take care of this for you. So that's what we did. We made a video about it, and we didn't want people to make assumptions or speculations that there's a tie between the Allens or Becky or Brenda, the sisters. And I also asked her about Pat Brown, because, back in the day, people thought that Pat Brown was related to the Patties. So I asked her about that, and she said, oh, no, we're not related at all. Pat Brown is just a good friend of Mike's and another unnamed source. She wouldn't give me the name. They were hunting buddies. And people were saying that Pat Brown's sister or wife was Becky's sister. No, Angel Brown is no relation to the Patties at all. Just friends. It's all it is. So I had to clear that up.
What's up, Derek?
Hey, let me just ask you guys both. Well, quickly, out of the three of us, I mean, you guys actually go to Delphi. You are talking to the families on a personal level. You probably know things we don't know and don't want to say, and that would be completely understandable. But let me ask you, all right, I got to word this right because I don't want to be offending. Okay, let's say there's a list of questions that now are back on the table because now we don't know what the F is going on again, right? Am I right? So like before, we're kind of like, listen, don't be saying nothing about and all these kind of caveats and rules. And I agree that the family still shouldn't be picked on. I mean, I totally agree, unless there's some outstanding proof, which there is not. And so, I mean, I'm not going there. So don't get nervous. But I do have a few questions. And I'd like to get both of your guys' takes on it really quick. I do have to go to work soon, and I mean, to sit here with both of you guys and try to discuss what the way you know this case is not going to work for me. So I'd rather ask a few things that we all want to know. Like,
Sure.
were Cody, Patty, and RA neighbors?
Yes, they were at one point in time back in, I believe it was like 2006 to 2008, something there in that nature. Cody was living with his girlfriend at the time, and I believe it was just maybe a few houses down from the Allen's house at that point in time, because I even asked Becky about that too. So
Okay. That doesn't mean anything.
no,
But I
it
think
doesn't.
that if we have to re-examine everything again, that we might as well look at everything
Right.
again. And we didn't know that
Um,
before. I don't know
in
if
my-
that's worthy information, but
And my
doubt
response
it.
to that is, yeah, I don't think it matters.
They don't.
right. But at the same time, they were neighbors. So that's
But
all I
I-
needed to know on that.
But I
So
will
then next
say-
question would be, if you don't mind, do you guys know that Keegan was dating someone, AK? Those initials ring a bell. Do you know an AK?
Mm-hmm.
And then a
That's
brother
the-
of hers, HK.
That's the girl he was living with when he got arrested, wasn't it?
You guys know of her brother, HK?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, he's mentioned in the.
Were you guys aware that the Cheyenne _45 at Yahoo email leads back to, apparently, not my information, but from what I consider to be a creator that's been doing a relatively good, solid job, back to that A and HK?
What was the email?
Cheyenne _45
I don't know who
at,
that. I've never heard.
at Yahoo. At
I
Yahoo.
don't know the.
I've
I don't
never
know
heard
the
of that.
Yeah, I don't know the significance of the email.
Okay,
I've
that's what
never
I'm just
heard
throwing.
of it.
I'm just quickly, if I can just get some spaghetti on the wall.
Yeah.
Because you guys
I'm
know the ins
flinging.
and outs of all that. Okay. So there seems to be a trend. Let's look at this for a second. Richard Allen's kid obviously does not need to be getting any shit. But her age is around 28. I don't think that's a secret. This brother, of it seems like a lot of these people are around 26 to 29 years old that are sort of floating around these Dirk Hazes and these you ever heard of Walton Cobb? That's another story. Guys, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just like I wasn't expecting on going on the air today, and I'm just full of questions. I'm just full of questions, and there's no answer.
Yeah, if you got questions, shoot me some email. Shoot me an email about some of
Yeah.
those names, and
I should.
Right.
I mean, it's better than just kind of spouting them off, without. Really...
I know. I'm all worked up right now. I'm sorry.
I mean, the only Cheyenne that we know of is the Cheyenne that was there at the trails on the bridge that day. And that's the only way I know of a Cheyenne through that email, but I don't think that would be
Yeah,
her
funny it
because
ends
she's
with
trying to stay
45.
low. She's
guess,
trying to keep low.
Yeah, sure. Well, that doesn't mean she didn't. Just because she was there, again, it can't be guilt by association.
Well, no,
guilt-
I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying
No,
the
I know.
only person by the name of Cheyenne when he brought up that email was her. And I don't think she would be out in the public eye because she's been trying to stay away from this case for years.
Yeah, these
Well-
are the images she posted. This
Yeah.
is another.
Right. That was the day of, right?
Yes.
About
3:02 in
3:15.
the
Anywhere
afternoon.
yeah, about anywhere between 3 and 3:15.
Yeah. So,
Man,
but yeah,
it
she's
just
really
leaves
trying to
so
stay
many
away.
more questions. It's just like so many. It opened up this whole thing again.
Well, it seems like people are just trying to go back and look at old evidence again or stuff that's been out there to see if they can find anything. That's how I would interpret it.
I do have a question that does not deserve email. I'm going to ask, where does this put the ski mask incident at this point?
Yeah, it's so what a peculiar story. The ski mask thing. I mean, it's got to be involved. I mean,
Was there a police report on that?
In the transcript, they say yes, there is
No.
a police report.
Oh, really? Then it's
Really?
not public, I don't think. I don't think it's public.
It's not
However
public,
that can
but
be.
he says there's an official police report on that.
Oh, I had never heard that.
Yep. And it happened on the 19th, the day before Keegan and Tony went to Vegas.
Well, that would be KB. We know who that is.
Yeah, but what if Kagan and Tony were like running? What if they
You
were
see,
scared?
I don't want. Honestly, I don't think it was either one of them. Due to the fact is, because we all know that Keegan had a personal relationship with KB and her family, and
Right.
it even says in the transcripts that he was able just to walk over there and walk right in like he was part of the family without even knocking on the door or anything. So why would he send her a text while she's on the school bus what's your address when he already knew where she lived?
Yeah, what if that's killer number 2? He's like, damn, these bastards. I went out here and committed this murder thinking that it was all going to be everything taken care of, and come to find out you got Keegan over here tied to this girl, tied to that girl, and now this killer's like, I gotta go tie up some loose ends.
Right.
Keegan and Tony are like, we got to get the fuck out of town. This dude, he just
So
tried
that
to kill another girl, and that means you're next, bro. You better get the fuck out of town.
That just told me that it's somebody else that's using Anthony Shott's account. So
If the ski mask incident is real, if there is in fact a report, it's like we're building this pyramid of what ifs, and
I
then
know.
just one tiny little fact, it's like a little feather lands right on the top of it slowly, and the whole thing crumbles.
it's just a web of questions.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, but I think when you go into it knowing it's a web of questions and not making assumptions about any of the answers, I don't think that's
Absolutely.
all you can do, right? I mean, what else can we do
That's all we have.
besides accumulate all the information we can get and
Hey, what's
then
up, Deb?
speculate, basically.
We have to interpret the information that we get the best way we can. That's the only thing we can do.
And,
Seems
and
like
not
that's what we
everything can
do.
be officially confirmed, but at least let's say you have 2 or 3 people that you trust that are saying the same thing. I mean, okay, it's not 100%, but at least you know in your head you're going through some sort of due diligence to put information out that's correct.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's the stuff that's got to be happening.
I got a question for Deb. Deb said, "Oh, they do think that sleuth." Is that in response to the killer being the ski mask guy, being the guy in the ski mask with that incident? Is that what you're answering?
Yeah, I talked to her earlier today by phone, and I think that's what she was referring to. Yes, we talked about that.
Man, that's terrifying. So, yeah, Keegan could have been in fear of his life.
Wow.
Not realizing that he just got set up.
Mhm. Yep,
He might have
set
been a
up.
patsy.
Yeah, because I mean, if you got a real hardcore killer and he knows
Mhm.
he's got about 5 or 6 people that can make sure he goes to prison for the rest of his life, he's not going to hesitate. You know what I mean?
Right.
Ain't nothing.
I had a tidbit for you guys. I don't know if it means anything. I know, again, I kind of spouty a little bit today, Sleuth. I apologize.
No, you're good.
KK, there's a weird country club road incident involving a JJ that was friends with KK. Apparently he was at a slumber party. Not one at that time, but one recently. And was accused of an essay.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I haven't seen actual court documents. Again, this is information that is speculative in nature, but that has been tracked down to some degree.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And if you don't know that guy's full name, I'll email you all these names, both of you, if you want.
Yeah, do that. Yeah.
Because I might, some of them might be familiar.
I would assume so, yeah.
It's all, to me, starting to tie together when everything's starting to fall into place. I mean, first you got Dirk being arrested in Vegas, and then he's released looking at prison time, and they put him on house arrest. Then you got the next thing starting to happen is the river search. Then you have Keegan going to court, or Richard Allen being arrested.
Well, Keegan went to the search, remember?
That's what they're saying, but we don't have any pictures of them showing him there.
I believe it.
I mean, until I see some type of photo showing he was there, I mean, I can't. I'm not going to say yes or no on that.
After the hearing, I kept hearing that they were saying there was no DNA. Did they say that officially?
No,
That
they
there was
never
no
said
DNA, or
that.
is that a speculation on some of these other people's parts?
Speculation, as far as I'm
Okay, I'm
concerned.
glad to hear that then. Okay, good. Because the
Yeah,
way
that
I'd heard it from
information.
some people, there was no DNA whatsoever.
I heard that from Fig, and he's in there. But he did say as of right now, it's just a rumor.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I'm looking at it too. So, I mean, because you wouldn't have Lesenby being interviewed by Barbara McDonald at the very start of this case saying, yes, there was DNA at the scene.
Oh, that reminds me. Here, let's take a look at a video here. Thanks for reminding me. It's really short. It's just a quick clip from Michael Catt.
Did you leave him in the door?
Rest
You
in
did it a
peace.
lot. Michael Catt.
He is a weirdo.
I mean, what's up with the investigation? I mean, like, how come nothing's came forward? I mean, it seems like a lot of work. I mean, you know, it's just one of those situations where we got a case that you know, this person's never apparently committed a crime before. We have, you know.
You would feel that he had never committed a crime. He has no DNA in the database.
Well, I can't comment on that, but I'm just saying that's what it looks like. I mean, the possibility
That's
of
what it looks like.
we can't find no traces of it.
That was my first
Can't
thought.
find any
I thought
trace of it.
anybody at that age that would commit a crime like that would have.
In order to have a trace
Can't
with
find
somebody,
no trace of them.
in order to be searching for a trace, that means you have to have some kind of sample, right?
Yeah,
That's what it sounds like to me.
and they didn't have that law put in effect in Indiana until 2018, a year after the murders. If you got arrested for a felony charge, it was automatic. You had to give a DNA sample.
That's a good rule.
Yeah.
I think at the time of the murders, RA owned a Ford Focus. Have you guys heard that? Does anyone know the color of that car? Or if it wasn't at that exact time, what the color of the car was?
I have no clue.
Okay.
I have no clue either.
All right.
There are some people. I know one person who can run a DMV check on to see what vehicles he's have, and that's True Crime Web. He's able to do that somehow because he did it for us on somebody else.
He's not gonna. I mean, Steve knows what to do. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Steve just picks up the phone and goes, "Figure this out."
Right.
Yeah.
So
Thanks, Deb.
and he just got back from Iowa.
I know. I watched that show. That was a really good live, actually. Really compelling.
Deb and are in Purdue met him out at the bridge when they're starting to work on the bridge. They're fixing it now, and I guess they got pictures out there with him.
I think he's the coolest dude, man. I really like Steve a lot.
So
he's got a wicked sense of humor too. You just don't see it because he's not the kind of guy that would show that on.
He's a country
subject
boy.
matter, but no, he's a great guy.
Yeah, he's an old country boy. So, but
so where does it put us overall? I mean, we're not literally back at the beginning. We have a suspect. I mean, obviously McLeland thinks this guy had something to do with it. That's good enough for me, honestly. So you got one. I mean, that's better than none. Is that going to lead into more things, or where does it put the investigation for us? You know,
I think
we know what the cops are doing.
I think we are back to the beginning.
Yeah, we're basically on a standstill right now until they release the probable cause. But like I said, if they do release it, there's not really much information we're going to be able to get out of it because they're going to have it so redacted. There's no sense.
And it is strange to leave the tip line open and then not give us any new information.
Right.
You know, unless that's just for specific people that might have had an interaction or know Richard Allen specifically. Maybe that's not for us. I'm not sure, but maybe it could be. Like, how would they know?
I can tell you this right now. Nick McLeland does not want social media dealing with this case. And he made that very clear in the courtroom yesterday.
Yeah, even the defense attorney was talking about podcasts and shit. I wonder if people are harassing them already.
They were giving us a pat on the back, basically. Said, hey, you know, the prosecution and LE wanted the public's help all this time. Now we're asking the public for your help to clear our client. Using the same tactics.
Smart.
Wow. That ain't
So,
stupid.
but
Well, I mean, it's almost like we, not we, I mean, but everyone's been saying it with a conscience forever going, careful, that's going to affect, you keep putting that out there, and whoever the lawyer is going to pick up on that and go, yeah, oh, hell yeah, it's affecting the case. I mean, they're going to throw everything at it to discredit, to obfuscate, my favorite word in the world, and, all that. So they're doing their job.
But otherwise, I just wanted to come on for a little bit. It was a great experience out there yesterday in Delphi in the courtroom. I tell you what, man, that courtroom is so beautiful inside of it.
Is it?
Is it?
Oh, it is beautiful inside, man.
You know what year it was built?
Honestly, no,
roughly.
It's a lot of woodwork and stained glass. Blake, she's coming, dude. Girlfriend's coming. He's tripping.
Nice.
Balls.
Well, thanks a lot, you guys,
All
for
right,
jumping
guys,
on. This is
I'm
a
outta
good
here.
time for us to end it. Derek,
All right.
Frank, appreciate you guys. We'll do
Frank,
this
always
again
good to see
very
you,
soon.
Sleuth. I'll throw you an email, Sleuth, with some of this stuff. Sorry, I was a little spouty today.
Hey, Derek,
you're
you get a
always good.
chance, send some of that information to us too, man.
Absolutely. I absolutely
All right, man.
wouldn't hold back. Yep.
All right,
Happy
happy
Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving, guys.
Yeah. I guess everyone will be off tomorrow, or I'm assuming. Never know. I mean, I'm gonna be partying, but
Well,
I'll
I'm
be
getting
keeping an eye out. I'll at least be on the Discord. It'll be nice, Sleuth. I know this is totally off subject, but you being the admin, if you could add a holiday party section to the Discord app, we could put pictures up, wish each other happy holidays and shit like that.
Consider it done.
All right, fire the bowl, guys. I'm out.
Later, fellas.
Later.
Tip your driver.
All right, guys. Another one in the books. And it looks like the game is on. I guess the next move is on Richard Allen's defense team in the court of public opinion. Doesn't look like McLeland's concerned about the court of public opinion. Feels like his evidence is going to be strong enough. Job done. Let's hope they can squeeze Richard Allen and we can get this other perpetrated.